Hello. People were asking me why I always say that physical attackers are much worse than mage heroes, even though Isaac's a thing. And here's the thing: yes, Isaac is a good counter to a lot of mage heroes, but it doesn't mean that the mage heroes are worse than the physical attackers. Because the physical attackers in this game are really suck and are honestly in a bad place. Let's go look at the physical attackers that are actually good. So, physical attackers like Yasmin, Ju, Dante are good as well as Ishmael. So these were the good physical attackers, and that's kind of the end of the list, right? And Yasmin gets hard countered by both Corvus and Helios, but still is still one of the best physical attackers in spite of that. It's a really short list, and that's because most marksmen and warrior heroes are honestly trashed here. So outside of these heroes, like the marksman warriors, like most of them, they range from either trash tier to mediocre at best, right? So you'll have like marksman heroes that are absolute garbage tier, like who you should never invest in. Like these heroes are some of the worst in the entire game. They're absolute garbage tier. You should not invest in them. And the problem is that's like a lot of like warrior and marksman hero really are on like that kind of level. They're just not worth it. Whereas like if you go to the mage heroes, you have lots of different mages. So you have like your pure damage mages like Iris, like Maya, like Heidi. Like these are magic heroes, but they do pure damage primarily. They are not um bad, so they're actually, like I said, so they're not, so Isaac is not a threat to them since they do pure damage. But they are also technically mage heroes. Like they're not physical attackers, so they get around that issue. So these are all good picks for that. But then you also have a lot of mages who are control heroes. Well, Araki's technically a warrior, but she's a magic damage dealer. Or Celeste, so that kind of is like Saya said, she's probably the hero who suffers versus Isaac the most. Out of pretty much any hero in the game, probably nobody's affected by Isaac more than Celeste. Yes, despite that, Celeste is the second best hero in the game after Sebastian, because you really do just need things like her Cursed Flame ability. She has good damage, good healing. Like she's just all around a great hero, even if Isaac can make it hard for him. There's heroes like Amira, it's good control mage. You got other like stuff like Jorgen's a nice another control kind of mage type hero. You have Leanne. Um, like said, you have also heroes like Helios, another like control support like mages. Plus, you also have like Krista Lars. Lars is a strong control hero. He can displace hero enemies. Like he's actually probably one of the best counters to Iris. A lot of people know how to counter Iris. Lars is actually one of the best Iris counters. Krista plus Lars is also kind of like one of the best counters to Bubbles of Justice. So Bubbles of Justice will kind of redirect damage, magic and physical damage between heroes on your team. But Krista's ice shards with during Eye of the Storm can kind of overload Bubbles of Justice and rip it off pretty quickly. You can also put a Biscuit Patron on Celeste, or sorry, on Krista, which can also help dispel like an Ode to Serenity with the Lars ult. So there's just a lot more mage heroes who are have value. Like that's kind of like the issue with like the physical attackers. Like they just don't, there's just not admit as nearly as many who provide value. And it's just like with the metagame being really based around, you have Ode to Serenity, Bubbles of Justice, and you also have dodge buffing heroes like Aurora. And this has just made the game really oppressive for physical attackers. But even like you take like a team let me see. We should go to max testing because we're on current, I think. So let's go to max testing. So put up a team that you might see. So Sebastian, pretty much in every team. We'll do Iris, Sebastian, Martha, and see, let's do Dante. We'll do Dante. So something like this. You'll see teams kind of like this, right? It's a kind of good example. You wouldn't want to attack this team, but like I said, even though Rufus, you think physical attackers are better versus Rufus or whatever. Let's just go um. So let's see. So we'll take Kira. We'll take Ginger. Like I said, this is going to be a classic example of. So you can't even say other prompts. Marksman heroes. A lot of them have no patron options. But like I said, so let's not bring in Celeste, even though usually I'd use Celeste, but let's do like physical attackers here. Right, and we'll see it. I'll kind of show you like one of the problems here with the physical attackers. Like, because you're feeding energy to Dante, and they're just getting destroyed. Like, Dante is just destroying you because all the physical attackers are feeding energy. Like, in theory, Ginger could dispel Bubbles of Justice if Ginger is actually hitting the enemy team instead of just feeding them a bunch of energy, allowing to dodge buff spam. Right, and this is like I said, Iris is just really hard to beat with a team like that. Whereas, like, if you use something like, again, like probably the best answer to this team right here, you want to know how to be a team like this team here with Dante, Iris. It's no, not him. You'll take this and you'll take like Crystal Lars. No, seriously, like you may think like, wait, why would you use Crystal Lars versus Rufus? Well, that's because you use Morgan. We don't need Sebastian here because there are no control effects. This is why part of the reason why twins are so good. Why you see them a lot still, even though Isaac's a thing now. And we'll get to Isaac in a second, but you'll see a lot of teams like this that don't have Isaac because Isaac is only good versus magic damage dealer, so he's not necessarily the greatest defender. So you don't necessarily see Isaac a whole lot on defense. So that there's lots of targets that are just rich for a twins team to shred. But even if they do have like Isaac, a lot of times you can still beat Isaac. But like that team, this is an easy win for a team like that line. It's super easy win. So let's try. So we'll try an Isaac team now. We'll try a Dante Tink team with Isaac. Can we do Iris? Let's see. Let's try. So not Celeste. Martha. Da 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 da. Does he? Oh, we need Sebastian, obviously. Always have Sebastian in teams like this. I think if you do Biscuit. So Mara is probably, it just really depends. You can make a case for both, but I think we'll do this. Both can be really troublesome. There's pros and cons to both. Mara, like, so here's the thing, like, if you're going to attack a team like this with Trinity Twins, like, so this team, like I said, a lot of people, Dante Tank can be really intimidating. So like in this max testing, so my Lars is not going to come out near as fast. So this might be a bit tougher than with like an actual fight, because Lars can be slow here. But we'll try this. And this Isaac will probably have more magic defense than most. Okay, let's see. So I've got Ode to Serenity up. So note that Dante's ulted multiple times already. So now it's finally. So this is why I tend to use Kayn in these kind of fights, because Axel's quite simply too slow. Okay, well, we lost Aurora, so that's actually kind of bad. Okay, see, this is like, so there was no ice shards. Like, this is, yeah, no, this timing gets kind of messed up with. Oof. Don't know. Can we actually win here? Oh, yeah, no, I think we're actually going to get a win. Yeah, we actually get a win. So there you go. So Trinity Twins can actually beat Isaac here. It's a bit tough, like, but part of it's like Krista dispels the bubbles just here. This is a fight that you can lose, but Dante Tank team like though, because Iris loses to Trinity Twins. Like despite having Isaac there, you can still win. It just really depends on a lot of variables. My Lars was a bit slow. Like I said, this was max testing, so I feel like the Lars there has too much health. All right, so let's try a physical attacking team. So let's see. We could try Martha. Martha might be good here. But like if you use Kira, like I said, if you get picked by Dante, it's probably all over. Like I said, so this is part of the issue with like using heroes like this is that you can feed a lot of energy to Dante. Right, the mage heroes might feed charge to Isaac, but you can feed energy to Dante. So this could be an issue here. Just really, a lot of this will depend on like Dante's dodge rolls. So you really just gotta hope Dante has bad dodge rolls, or his team, like and Ginger, like said, or your hope for good dodge rolls. Like this is probably 50-50 because you're looking at whoever has bad dodge rolls for the win here. Ever has bad worse dodge rolls. Though they do have Iris, which probably gives them an advantage here. Like so, Krista is really like so. Krista Lars is really good versus Iris because you're the displacement on Lars. Okay, well, so far this team's surviving. Though we just lost Aurora. Oh, Kira's down. Yep, no, see, look at this. Just absolute getting destroyed here. So this is kind of like the problem with physical attackers. Like, Dante, Aurora, they just are so oppressive to physical attackers. Like, even though in theory this multi-hits should help dispel, like, Bubbles of Justice from the defending team pretty quickly. Because the dodging buffs, it actually makes it a lot harder. Whereas Krista doesn't have that problem, like, because all of her hits are hitting, so they're all affecting the Bubbles of Justice. Yeah, no, this is total rout. Martha hasn't died yet. It's my timeout, but nope. There you go. But yeah, like that's part of the issue here. You got, like I said, this is kind of why it's like physical attacks. Then you have like other heroes like Darkstar and stuff. They are not going to be good. Like if you use some of the good physical attackers, though, there are better physical attackers. So you can use like Ishmael. You can use, like I said, maybe not Jew here, but Ishmael. He's a beast here. So if you use Ishmael, something like this, like the go-to line. Yeah, no, this line's pretty good. I think we will go with Axel here just because I think we'll survive more than 15 seconds. I mean, really, so long as as long as you don't have like super super bad dodge rolls, we should be okay here. And Isaac is not really a threat to Aurora. Some people say Isaac's a counter Aurora, like only if he can land silence, but Aurora's not doing enough magic damage to really give Isaac enough charge to worry about, so we're not too worried about that aspect. Biggest threat to Aurora here is going to be Iris, or possibly Dante with a good with like if you have a bad dodge roll and Dante gets a hit there with Sebastian doing some pure damage, like kind of like just like that where Aurora just got one shot, but it's enough. Like Ishmael is gonna carry through. Like this is what you'd use here. That's why Ishmael's like kind of like one of the top picks right now. Ishmael definitely one of the best like physical attackers right now. Because with his rank 2 Ascension, he has an ability that gives him really good like mitigation, makes him really hard to kill. So that's kind of like why you would use like a team like that. Like then you can also use like other like strategies. Like so if we can always use like an Arachnamaya team. Again, we talked about the control mages earlier. Yeah, we can try this here. Where's Maya? Try this tier. I don't know. I don't know if this wouldn't be my first pick. I think we will try Axel here because we really need to survive the 15 seconds. This really to come. So long as we don't get picked early, we should be okay. But okay. Yeah, like I said, this is a bit more dicey with Arachnamaya, but you really do need to get Bubbles of Justice to have much of a chance here to grind out with Arachne, because that's generally what you're trying to do. Nope, Arachne died. So this is probably not a good team. Like I said, Trinity Twins, but really though, Ishmael, like I said, one of the best heroes in the game right now. But Maya did do quite a bit of bleeding, but not enough. Not quite enough. Iris survived. There's stuff like said, but That's kind of why I say like it's not that the physical attackers are saying bad. It's like they don't add enough utility. Most physical attackers, they do one thing, they attack, they don't bring any utility. And there's also lots of mages who are kind of mid. Like Kai is okay or Orion's okay, but there's just better options. So I don't ever recommend anyone invest in those. But there's just a lot more choices on the magic side, because there's just a lot more heroes who are just very powerful. Um, like I said, and just the issues with dodge is just more oppressive. Like Aurora and Dante are more oppressive to physical attacker teams than Isaac is versus mage teams. Because one, Aurora and Dante, they are good like on their own. Like Aurora is good versus mage heroes and physical attackers, whereas Isaac's only good versus magic dealers. Like that's the other issue is like so Aurora's just more versatile. So there's just all those kinds of issues, just kind of holding back like physical attackers. Like I said, there are some good ones though. Like Ishmael's good, Jew can be good, Yasmin can be good. It's just you gotta have, like I said, it just really depends on. Like I said, so there are a few who are good, but these four really are good for like physical attacker type heroes. Like and Yasmin's mostly pure damage. So that's kind of it on this one. But yeah, this kind of, like I said, this kind of started with like a question on my bottom 5 worst heroes video, which if you haven't seen it yet, you can find that below. Thanks for watching.